What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Saturday, February 22nd, 2025, and we are back with another Sound Off Saturday. For those of y'all who are unaware what Sound Off Saturday is, that's just basically the day where I let people come up and sound off. It is a two sound off limit. Just like how I do when y'all have 2 minutes for the topics during the week whenever I go live, it's a two sound off maximum. I don't have the timer on for it because it's only two. And then we rotate and we continue going from there. But I have pinned the StreamYard link at the top right there because that way, because I know that a lot of people like to come up for this one. So I already have it pinned at the top in case you want to come up. You can just go ahead and click it. But let me see who is in the chat so far. We got Wallow J, Dimple Face, Stolen Ancestors 1526, Miss Nisi, Dark Titan, Cyberdon 100. Oh, and Cyberdon, I do appreciate the cash app. I got that about an hour or so ago. We got Eddie Foster, Leonard DeYuta, SD Johnson, 857, Anthony Phillips, Kai Sha. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. We got Roku Muro. Who else we got in here? Casey Malone, SD Johnson. I think I said SD Johnson. Anita Harrell, Brother Man to You. Don P. And Chris Vesey. Shout out to each and every one of you. But again, if you would like to come up, just click the link right there pinned at the top. And remember, it is a two maximum sound off. So make sure that whatever you want to talk about, they're good ones. All right, the first person we got coming up is Skywalker. What's going on?
What's up, Tarian? I made it. I wanted to talk on your live that you did on the Valentine's Day like mass shooting.
Well, it wasn't a mass shooting. It was almost when they stopped the girl before she could actually go out and do what she planned to do.
I wonder what the NRA and the Republicans are going to try to say about that.
Well, first off, they probably don't
You
even
know
care.
how
They probably don't.
how they just how they going to how they be trying to smear people, how they be trying to lie and smear people. So I wonder what they're going to try to say about that.
Well, I doubt they're going to say much of anything because this story hasn't really gained like that much attention. A lot of people last night, that was their first time hearing about this story. Unless they lived in the state where this happened at, it didn't get mass attention because the shooting didn't actually happen. Now, if it did happen, then it probably would have got national attention. But they stopped it before they could actually do anything. As far as the NRA goes, they're not going to say anything. That you are actually the first person I heard mention the NRA in a while. Even with the last few mass shootings that have occurred, I have not heard anyone bring up the NRA, and we know they like to get on the horn. And I'm actually shocked considering that Solomon Henderson dude, he was black, and I'm surprised they didn't say nothing because they always got to say something about black people with a firearm. And as far as like the Republicans go and everything like that, I don't know what's going on. Trump and Musk, they got some little tag team thing going on over there at
Yep.
at the White House. So I don't know. So I don't know what's going on with them.
I've been listening to True Royal go in on Elon and all of that, and that's just I wanted to get your opinion on Elon.
And so this is your second one, right? So the first one was the girl last weekend. Your second one is Elon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My opinion on Elon is that this guy is completely unhinged, and he is there to just be nothing but chaotic and destructive. That is me putting it lightly.
Yeah, and every time he talks, it's like he just says a whole bunch of nothing. He doesn't really he don't really be saying nothing.
Yeah, but because he's garnered influence over the years, with Tesla and other things, and because he has a lot of wealth, people gravitate towards that. And unfortunately, some people put blind faith and loyalty into a lot of people who have influence. And
This guy got
and
13
money.
children. He got 13 children.
I know I know he has 13 kids, and I'm gonna talk about that at a later date. The video is actually recorded, but I still got other videos that I got to put up before that. But I'm definitely going to be talking about that.
I can't wait to come up on that live. I can't wait for you to do that, so I can go in on Elon even more. And that's all I want to say.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for coming up. Shout out to Skywalker for kicking everything off. And that video that I have about that's actually going to be a video. It's not going to be a live. I already had the video recorded for it. And I might actually have to go back and update it because something just recently came out about that Ashley St. Clair chick, something that I recently saw on Twitter, maybe about a good 30 minutes before I got on here. But next up, we got Wallow. What's going on?
What's going on, Torrin? What's going on in the chat? Number one, I would like to congratulate all Black people on TikTok and social media because what we've been saying, I don't know if you're going to talk about this in a video or live yet, Torrin, but from what we've been seeing with Black people, with the immigrant class, the Latinos being upset about Black people not coming out there and asking, well, where's everybody else? Where's the Black people at? Where everybody else that's an immigrant is in hiding right now, idiot. They're not going to come out there and protest and wave a foreign flag so they can be recognized. So, these days they got camera recognition, cameras now. So why, if they're illegal and if in the government looking for them, why the hell would they be outside? Like, sometimes you gotta start making stuff make sense. If they're looking for you, and if you're legal, that's one thing. But if you're illegal, they're looking for you. They're not about to come out there and risk their whereabouts for you. Y'all the dummies. First off, Black people, we have been sitting this thing out and it's tearing everybody's nerves up, including PC. And I just love it. And the second thing I want to add is I don't know if you heard about Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson, the former owner of BT?
This is a young man. This was a regular person from Chicago.
Elaborate.
Before you went live, I was on X and I saw, one of the Twitter parodies account name, what is it, Fearbuck? And he basically reposted a story, it's like a 7-minute story. Hopefully I can send you the link in the Discord about he was 16, he was convicted of murder which he did not do.
Oh, now I know who you're talking about.
Are you
now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I just saw that he just got out, which is, beautiful because he was talking about his grandmama. What did he say? His grandmama was always saying he was going to get out. He was get out. Hopefully she'd be here when he got out, and she was there when he got out. I almost shed a tear.
It's unfortunate because this is something I've talked about a lot on my channel about how a lot of Black men in particular, as young as he is, because he was 16 when he got locked up, he was in there for 30 years. So he literally lost. So this man is about to be 50.
Yes, he's 40.
He's like 46. Yeah, 46. Yeah. This guy's about to be 50. He's 4 years from 50, and he lost his entire youth. Like he lost the rest of his teens, all of his 20s, and all of his 30s, and over half of his 40s.
He spent his prime locked up.
Exactly. Now, when you look at him, he doesn't look like he's 46. He looks very youthful.
He looks like he's like 35.
He looks like he's probably in his 30s. But still, they said he was saying he was innocent for years, and they kept him locked up. And now here's the loophole. Oh, by the way, it was a loophole somewhere. You actually were innocent.
Yeah, I said, what?
I said there's not enough money in the world to restore all the time that's lost. I always say time is the most valuable thing you can have. It's the most precious because once it's gone, you don't get it back. You can get as much money as you want, and you can lose it and get it all back and then some. But when you lose that time, that's it.
That's it. I mean, dude spent he didn't get. I don't know if he wanted to go to prom or not, but he missed out on graduation. If he wanted to go off to college, your team.
If he wanted to start a family,
I always say your prime years of going out is 18 to 25. That's your prime party years. After that, it kind of goes down a little bit. But I ain't gonna lie to him, he kind of looked like you a little bit. the light skinned version of you, but I'm just. But no, that's all I want. Do you want the link, or do you already have it to like the story that I was going to send it to you in the Discord?
You can send it.
All right, I'll send it in the Discord. I'll come back up if anybody else don't come up. B1.
Yeah, but I heard about that story. I saw it in passing, and I'm like, I literally, when I saw it, the first thing I said, there's another one. And they like to try to say Dub S don't exist. I said, this is what we talk about when we say this is a system. It's not just a person. It is a system. How many stories have we heard over the years where they fall into that same type of category where they just pluck one right up off the street and just lock them up for all these years off of something that they didn't do, and then they spend decades behind bars. I couldn't imagine 30 years since 16. Since 16. And I can only imagine what he had to go through for those 30 years. Meanwhile, and you'll see what, and I think it frustrates me because I have a live that I'm doing next week. That's an update to a story that I did on my Patreon. If you're on Patreon, you saw the story. But I said this update I'm gonna do about the story. I'm gonna do the live on here, and then refer back to this story right here that me and Wallo were just talking about, and understand why we say PC privilege is indeed a thing, no matter how much they try to spin it. But if anybody else that would like to come up, the link is pinned right there at the top. Just click it and I'll bring you up. $1996, y'all. He was in prison for man. But salute to everybody else that's in the chat that I didn't get a chance to acknowledge. I think Queen Mommy is in here. I see Ezra's in here. Let's see. I see Natasha is in here. That's funny. Birth rate 0. Dimple said, he said, I was 25. Yeah, in 96, I was only 7. I was only 7. What's going on, Dano and Scooby said, unfortunately, I'm at work. No problem. Oh, y'all know what time it is. Sweeping up to the stage, Hurricane Nisi. What's going on?
Good afternoon, Torian and family in the chat. I am still cracking up from last night's live. Not on what you reported, what we talked about afterward. And I offer my my apology. I was just messing with you, Torian. You know I love you.
You good.
But anyway, this is a wonderful time to be foundational Black Americans. Because right now we are front and center globally. We are on the lips of everybody for whatever reason. And this is just my opinion. They are pissed and baffled by our silence. We're sitting on the sidelines and watching the shit show.
It's a wonderful view, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you know what? I also believe this, that the Most High is allowing his people to witness the downfall of our enemies.
Yeah, they falling over each other right now. They don't know how to handle it. I've seen so many people do videos talking, like showing how a lot of them are losing their minds right now, and have the nerve to try to reach back at us to see if we're going to extend that olive branch. And we're like, no, we're not. We're not extending that olive branch, because we remembered all the things over the years that y'all said about us. Now you're really going to have to do for self. We're going to really see what you made of now.
Well, this is my opinion only. I'm enjoying this payback, which is rightly deserved. It was earned and it's deserved. So if it got to crash and burn, let it be. And I land there.
Appreciate you coming up. Shout out to Hurricane Nisi coming up here, doing what she does best, and that's getting straight to the point and not mincing her words. Oh yes, they're losing it right now. And they're mad and they're upset because we're not helping. I'm like, when we needed help, where were you at? We seen them comments that y'all was leaving. We see the videos on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and Twitter, all over the place. What's going on, Janessa? And shout out to you for the 2. She says B1 Torian and everyone. I appreciate it. What they say, the chickens have come home to roost. And speaking of chickens, let's get into that. And this is one of my sound offs. So I'm sure some of you have seen the post that I made on the what used to be the community tab, is just now called the post tab, where I posted that picture of those eggs at Walmart. And that is 60 eggs in that box. The whole box was $29.99 or $29.78, $30. We're going to round it up to $30. What I should have did was I should have gave context in the caption besides me just saying how expensive these eggs were, because those eggs in that same box, in that same count, last year was about $10 or maybe $8. A couple weeks ago, they went from about $8 to $10 and jumped to $20. This was right around the time when Trump first got inaugurated. Less than a month later, they are now at $30. And those are the eggs at Walmart, that 60 count that y'all saw on the tab. Now, I know a lot of people were saying under the post saying, well, I don't eat eggs like that. And I understand that some people say, how can many people eat that many eggs and stuff like that, or don't buy so many eggs? Well, you got to think of it this way. One, some people have large families, so they're going to have to buy those eggs. Two, some people bake for a living. So any baked good has eggs in it, cake, cookies, anything like that has eggs. Eggs is a main ingredient. So if you're a baker, you definitely need those eggs. And I'm not talking about like a big factory or anything like that, but some people make, wedding cakes, some people make party cakes, or some people own a bakery where you need a lot of eggs. That adds up. And you gotta think about it and put it like this: you buy 3 cartons of you buy 3 boxes of those eggs, you're already spending $100. Exactly, Janessa. She says most of the things you have in your kitchen is made with eggs. Try making a cake without eggs. Try making cookies without eggs, unless they're like vegan. Unless it's vegan, you're using eggs. And 9 times out of 10, most people are not vegan. Vegans are in the minority. And then on top of that, well, for me personally, eggs is in my meal plan with me working out. That's part of my daily routine. I consume maybe about at least 2 eggs a day. And a lot of people was like, "Oh, aren't you worried about your cholesterol?" Listen, I burn it off. I already went to the doctor, had my physical. My cholesterol is in good shape because I know my limits. Because like you saw people, if you saw those videos and those images, people was literally going out there right before those eggs went up. They went out there and they was buying them eggs all off the shelves. It was no eggs left. They snatched all them things up before the price went up. And at Costco, they said you only can buy it, like it's a limit of eggs you can buy. And I think they said it's 3. You cannot. They're not going to let you go out there with a fourth pack of eggs. So it definitely does. It does say a lot. And that, of course, is not knock to anyone who doesn't consume eggs or anything like that. But again, those who don't consume eggs like that are in the minority. But that was one of my sound offs right there, was talking about that. Oh, we got another person just came up. What's going on? That was one of my sound
offs right there. Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to say something to everyone out there. It's regarding what you just said about the eggs. Definitely check if you're zoned for eggs, because where I live in the Bronx. It turns out that where I live, I'm zoned for a chicken coop in the Bronx. So you'd be yeah, very interesting. I found this out by accident. I was just looking through something, and literally 2 blocks down from my house, one of my neighbors has one. And so yeah, if they have one, we are definitely zoned for one. Just definitely do your research. And that's just for everyone in general. You'd be surprised what your neighborhood is zoned for.
Thanks for informing me. I'm gonna look into that.
All right, that's it. Oh, one other thing.
Okay.
A couple of weeks back, you did a live regarding Sexy Red, and I know. I don't want to. I know. I really don't want to bring her up, but I just want everyone to remember she is an industry plant, and she even admitted to being one. So her handlers are gonna have her do things. I'm not saying that she doesn't have a say, but at this point, if she's an industry plant, she's being told what to do and what to post. Not to say that it's the right thing or a good thing, but it is what it is. So we shouldn't really be paying attention to her. Plus, her ticket sales are awful. I mean, she's canceled a bunch of concerts.
That's what led me believe that she, to what you're saying, when she couldn't sell her tickets, and they keep pushing her out there like that, and it's like she can't sell out an arena to save her life for some odd reason, but they're constantly pushing her out there, and that's why it kind of like frustrated me when I saw certain people say that Black people need to stop listening or pushing or supporting her. I said, I don't know many Black people like that who are really supporting her like that, and we should know, because we look at those ticket sales and they're very lacking, and this is not a one-off thing. This is something that has been continuously happening.
And it's not just her. We're talking her, Sukihana, Glorilla. When's the last time you've seen them perform at a sold-out concert that's on their own? They're usually with other people, and they're usually, I guess, the starting point before the actual rappers come up. So, again, these are industry plants, and they've openly admitted to being them. So we really should not be paying them any mind at all. That's it.
All right. Thanks for coming up.
All right.
Appreciate you. Queen Mommy says, my daughter has a chicken coop and she lives in North Carolina. I found a lot of people probably who live near a farm definitely have a chicken coop in or around their dwellings. But yeah, I'm going to look into that. And shout out to Pinky for that suggestion. And, just in case anybody in the chat didn't think of that, yeah, definitely look in your area and see if you're zoned for one. And hey, do what you got to do. That will save you money. Breed your own chickens and hatch your own eggs. Again, if anybody else would like to come up, the link is pinned at the top. You can go ahead and click it and, say what's on your mind. Ms. Nisa said, ratchet red, no sexy at all. Y'all be saying I be having the puns with these nicknames. That's a good one, because I would not have thought to call her no ratchet red, even though she definitely fits the archetype. Brother Man said, my family in North Carolina used to have a chicken coop. Shoot, they might want to look back into getting another one with the prices of these eggs. Stolen Ancestor said, my boxer would eat those chickens. Yeah, that's the other thing too. If you got like dogs or something like that are, yeah, it can get messy real fast. Scoop said, these farmers that come to my jobs constantly bringing me eggs. Well, consider yourself fortunate that they come to your job. Janessa said, did I read your comment? Oh, hold on. Let me see. And the thing is, I think I saw it. Oh, okay. I see it now. You said, excuse me, way off topic. Leaving Neverland Part 2 is coming up next month, called Fight for Justice. I heard about that. I don't know why they're doing a second one, considering HBO and the estate sued them over the first one and won, and now you want to come out with a second one. And it is not lost on me either that they're doing this the same year that the Michael Jackson biopic comes out. Now, here's the interesting thing. The Michael Jackson biopic was supposed to come out at the end of April. They're releasing this Leaving Neverland, whatever, Part 2 next month, which means their goal was to release this a month before the movie came out, just to see if they could throw people off before the movie came out. But the joke's on them, because the movie's now got pushed back to October. And I know that they had to do some extensive reshoots on the third act. So hopefully that was announced weeks ago. So they probably already did the reshoots and probably in the editing phase right now, just to keep that October date locked in. Ain't nobody falling for that Leaving Neverland crap. Here's the documentary that y'all need to watch. It's called Square One. And shout out to Nicole's View, because she's the one that put me on to, but I never watched it when she told me to. But I finally watched it about a month and a half ago. And let me tell you something right there. That is the only documentary that y'all need to watch as it pertains to Michael Jackson and them false allegations that stem back all the way to the early 90s. And they include the ones from 2005. That's the only one y'all need to watch. Again, the name of the documentary is called Square One. I keep telling people to watch it. People say they're going to watch it, but then they don't watch it. I'm like, y'all need to watch that document. Even if you aren't a Michael Jackson fan, which I find hard to believe, but there are some people out there that aren't fans, watch that documentary. That one, it came out in 2019. So it's about 6 years old. That one right there told it all for me. And I'm glad you didn't, Ms. Nisi, because I didn't watch it either. And I'm not going to watch this next one either. For what? What else is there to tell? That what more lies can you tell? And shout out to Brother Man who said Square One is fire. It's a really good documentary. Scoop said, what platform it's on? I believe it's on Tubi. I think you can watch it on Tubi. You know, Tubi is a free platform, so you should have no problem watching it. I think it's about 2 hours long. You know, you can square away 2 hours and watch it. It's a really good documentary. Like that keep this name in mind, y'all, when you watch it. Evan Chandler. You're going to heavily dislike a person by the name of Evan Chandler. Linda said, I don't watch any MJ slander. They met. Exactly. They can't beat him. And the man been deceased for, it's crazy to believe how long he's been gone, for about 16 years now. And even in death, they're still losing. Stolen Answer said, I'm glad they can't put out a documentary on Prince. Don't put it past them. Remember, they tried to do something. They did that hit piece with Kobe. Pinky said, hold up, Tubi is free. Yeah, Tubi is free. Tubi is a free streaming platform. It's probably one of the only free streaming platforms. That's why they got a lot of subscribers. And don't sleep on Tubi. I think they're starting to step their game up. I'm gonna be honest with you. Tubi, you know, when they first got established, they had some mid on there, and I know what it was, because and this is why I did appreciate it, because it's a platform where a lot of independent artists would be able to put their content at, especially a lot of Black independent creatives. And now that Tubi has gotten a bigger bag, now they created Tubi Originals, where they're actually putting budgets, like good sized budgets, into their movies. I think there's even a couple of shows on there now. And then I found out that it was owned by Fox. And I said, oh, now it all makes sense. Yes, Casey Malone is on Tubi, Square One. That is the name of the documentary. Please watch that. and really eternalize what's being shown and said. I mean, they got pictures on there that you probably never seen before. They got audio that you probably never heard before, and you're sitting there saying to yourself, "Wow." It's gonna. If anyone had any doubts or speculations if Michael Jackson did what he did, what they alleged that he did, all of that doubt and speculation is going to go out the window after you watch that. I promise you. I will not watch any other hit piece. Well, I don't watch hit pieces to begin with unless I'm ready to rag on it. But the slanderous stuff, especially when it comes to MJ, I don't watch it. You're right, Leonard. Like about Tubi, like a lot of black independent films end up on Tubi. The budget has definitely gotten way better since Tubi first got established. All right, we got another person coming up. Mr. Williams, what's going on?
What's up? I just seen that you had a stream on. I was in the kitchen. Yeah, no, I came on. You was talking about Tubi. I have to admit, Tubi been stepping it up. You know, there's not a lot I watch these days, but I do see a lot more of those. You know, might as well call them type of street movies, but it's getting a lot of black folks jobs. You know, I'm not really into that, but hey, I haven't seen so many of us working ever. Like, dang. And I don't know if you ever seen those little Country Wayne skits that be on YouTube.
I've seen them in passing.
Right, but a lot of those people be on Tubi also.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them be in BMF. A lot of them, because I think that all takes place down
you're right, in Detroit. Detroit. I'm glad you said that. Tubi. That's why I was wondering, is Tubi is it headquartered in Detroit? Because a lot of those Tubi movies are filmed in Detroit. It's like Detroit is trying to establish its own little Hollywood via Tubi. Because every time when I would see a Tubi movie, I could either hear it in the accent, the lingo, or the easiest way is through those license plates, those Detroit license plates, or whatever surrounding area. Sometimes when you saw it on one Tubi movie, you saw it in about 5 different others. They use the same kind of locations, filming locations. I mean, that's promotion for the business, especially if it's like a restaurant or something like that. So of course they're going to welcome it. So yeah, a lot of Tubi films, especially like if there are a lot of mainly black films and they have a certain aesthetic, is filmed in Detroit.
Well, I wonder if that I wonder how much money Detroit has made from that too, though, because if they're constantly using within those areas, you know, because they gotta get paid to kind of
probably like a permit or something like that. I don't know how much they made, but I sure know that through Tubi and a lot of those movies, they definitely got some promotion for the city.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. But there's a couple of movies. Cause I want to say this too. There's a couple movies I've seen on YouTube. Tubi that's Tubi made. One of them was called Cinnamon, I think.
Oh, I saw that. That was actually one of their better movies. I actually saw that, and they had the actress that played Jukebox on Raising Kanan. She was in it, and they had Pam Grier was in it.
Oh man, Pam Grier's character was actually kind of scary, and she said not a word.
Pam didn't have that many lines. If y'all haven't watched Cinnamon on Tubi, that's actually one of their better. That's actually one of their better Tubi movies. It was actually a pretty good movie. I actually enjoyed that.
I underestimated because it's Tubi, but you know I didn't know Tubi been stepping it up. But it had a couple of people from Country Wayne skits. It was the dude named Roz, even though I guess he's not a Jamaican. And you kind of see and the heavyset dude that was in the studio, his name's Rafi, and he's also in BMF. But another one, I may be wrong on the name, Desperate Measures, with Bruce Willis and the other cat that was in Guardians of the Galaxy with the little he died in the second one. He had the little flute that he would whistle him.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that played what is his name? I'm trying to think of his character name. It's on the tip of my tongue. I know you're talking about though.
Yeah, that was actually good too. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Plus I seen with Bruce Willis and him, because I'm only familiar with him before Guardians of the Galaxy was Walking Dead. That's the only reason I even noticing that dude, you know. But yeah, right now I'm watching Blue Beetle on Tubi. So I actually forgot all about that. So far, it's pretty good. It's very it's got a.
Oh, I think we lost Mr. Williams. He got pulled back. He got pulled into the Matrix, y'all.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, I can hear you now.
Well, for some reason, when my phone goes dark, it just cuts me off now.
Okay.
I got to keep pressing on. No, I was gonna say right now I was watching Blue Beetle on Tubi.
Okay.
I actually forgot about that. It's actually so far so good. It's got a good light-hearted comedy without being cheesy. Kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy type comedy. Nothing over the top.
I saw Blue Beetle.
Okay, I'm only probably about 30 minutes into it, but so far so good though. But yeah, I just thought I'd chime in for a little bit. But I'm about to go ahead and get back to my kitchen stuff. All right, man.
Okay.
Talk to y'all
Appreciate
later.
you coming up. Shout out to Mr. Williams for coming up. Savinon is crazy. First off, appreciate the super chat. They said, "Hey Torian, heard you was bringing back R&B yesterday." Yeah, Miss Niecy, Hurricane Niecy broke me down yesterday, and I did a little something. You know, gave y'all a little 10-second concert. But I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, Dark Titan. I think Rooker or something like that is his last name, but I can't think. I'm trying to think of his character name. And it's on the tip of my tongue when on Guardians. Of course, we know what he looks like. He has the red thing on his head. He's blue, and when he whistles, the arrow it goes after whatever target he wants it to go after. Yes, brother man, to you, I did. Scoop said, y'all got me excited. I ain't had cable in a year. Glad to know it's free. Yeah, Tubi is free. Like I said, it's one of the few free streaming platforms. And speaking of streaming, y'all, I finally sat down after putting it off for so long and watched the first season of Lioness. And let me tell you, that show is worth the hype. I finished the first season of it this morning, because I wanted to watch one episode a day, and I'm gonna start season 2 tomorrow, and I should be done with it by the end of the week. But Lioness is a very, very good show, and I heard that season 2 is absolutely insane in a good way. So I can't wait to watch and see what's to come. Shout out to Janesta for the 5. She said, "Have a beautiful voice. Sing some." Oh God, no more requests, Janesta. No more requests. But I do appreciate the super chat. The Informants is season 2 of what? Lioness. The first season is on Prime, Mr. William. Well, I had to actually like buy the season because it wasn't on there free. Because it's actually a Paramount Plus product, but Paramount Plus has that contract. But unfortunately, the season 2 is not on there, I guess because it's recent. So I actually had to do a trial on Paramount Plus just to watch this, because I'm like, there's not a lot of stuff on Paramount Plus that I watch. Yes, brother man, Yondu, that was his name, Yondu. Because I was getting ready to call him something else, and it wasn't even close to that. But Yondu, that is the character's name from Guardians of the Galaxy. Scoop says, "What did I miss yesterday? You said you got pipes." Yes, I did a little 10-second concert yesterday towards the end of the live. Queen Mind says, "What is that?" Linus is on the streaming platform that is on is Paramount Plus. But if you have Prime, you can buy the season for $20. It's 8 episodes. They're about an hour long. Each episode is about an hour long. But it's a good show. It's a good show. It's like an action It deals with the military, undercover, spy, intel, government, politics. It's a really good show though. But I heard that this second season was off the chain. So I'm ready for it. I already started my trial up, and I'll start watching the first episode tomorrow. What's going on, Rashad? Yep. Brother man, it's on Prime, but the main platform is Paramount Plus. School said, "Oh man, I always wish I could sing. My youngest daughter sings like me. Horrible." That's crazy. I think a lot of people. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I had said that to some. I had mentioned this to some people before. That if I knew how to sing, if I had a voice like Luther or Teddy or MJ or anyone who could really blow like that, I would be singing whole sentences. My life would probably damn near be a musical. You know what's so funny? We all sound great when we sing into the well, not everybody, to the track, or whenever we sing like in the shower. We feel like we sound great, and no one can tell us that we don't until it's time to step out on that stage, and then they hear you like, "Oh my God, what is this?" All right, let's see. Oh, we got Jay the Informant. What's going on?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's happening, man?
What you got for us?
See me? Oh, okay, cool. Hey, so Sound Off Saturday, man. So you talk about anything, right?
Yeah, just two things.
Man. All right, so let me just talk about these two because I was gonna bring up some other stuff because you brought up HBO bringing up a documentary, and I was gonna say they also did a documentary on Aaron Hernandez, but I'm not gonna bring that out there. But I see everybody's dumping on him now, so they just throwing out documentaries just to be throwing them out. However, there was this one case. I don't know if you covered this or you were going to cover it because I know you do your Sunday homicide stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So did you catch that that dude? His name is Colin Griffin Partel or whatever. The kid that executed his father with a gun got off for self-defense, and then he did the same to his mother, but with a knife.
Yeah.
And they just
you're spoiling next week's commentary. Yeah.
So
I already knew about it because I talked about it I talked about the initial story itself on Patreon because that story was just so extremely violent, and I put it on my Patreon. But the update to that, which you're leading into, that I'm talking about that next week.
Okay,
yeah, that's the ultimate Operation Protect the White Boy right there. I said I don't think anything can top this one, and it's only February.
Bruh.
But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bruh, I saw the grandmother talking down on her daughter to save the grandchild. I said, get the hell out of here, But okay, I'm not gonna talk about it because you're gonna cover that. So I do want to talk about one thing, man, because I know a lot of people in here are big on crypto, and I want to talk about this because these scammers are freaking getting over on people, I think, who are naive, and I think people need to be like more like, even if you follow somebody, don't take all their advice, especially when it comes to your pockets, your hard-earned money, and all that stuff. And I think that I actually talked to you in Discord about this video. Like these people, like especially when they have a major black audience and they can screw them over. We've seen it so many times that they start up these meme coin scams and all that stuff. I don't know if you're up to date on the latest ones that's been happening.
I think I heard okay, I can't think of it because it's funny you bring that up because I feel like I just saw something in passing talking about that. Are you talking about the guy that took himself out? Are you talking about that?
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, I think the one I'm referring to, somebody was messing around with that, and I guess something went wrong with it, and he ended up taking his own life or something. I don't know all the details behind it, but yeah, you're right. You have to be very careful when it comes to stuff like that. Don't jump at every single opportunity,
right.
especially when it comes to something dealing with money and lots of it, and especially with money that moves like that. You have to do your research before you throw money into any, and that's any investment. It doesn't have to just be that. Before you were ready to throw your life savings in there, first off, I wouldn't suggest that you do that. That's dumb. Make sure that you do thorough research on anything like that. That way you can learn how it goes, because one thing that I've learned, especially with someone who still currently trades in the foreign exchange market, is that you're not going to win every trade. You also got to make sure that you check out the news. Is it volatile that day? Is it slow moving that day? Like how it, because the charts does not always move the same way. How it moved last week is not how it's going to move this week. If that was the case, everybody would be multimillionaires. Like this would be probably like people would be wealthy like crazy. But you have to make sure that you're also, like I said, checking out the news. You have to make sure that you know how to read those charts. You know how to to know how to look at trends, all types of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And this is coming from somebody who got introduced to it back in like 2018.
Okay. Yeah, because I was actually going to start back investing because I have some stocks or whatever, but I don't have any crypto coins. So, I was looking, and Leonard, he actually got it in the chat room. And I think Kid Productions. But what happened was pretty much, I ain't going to this covers everybody. These people get the money up front. So he got $250,000 up front before he launched the coin, which was a coin set. It was a pump and dump. He got $250,000 on the front end, sold it to his audience. Then he sold it to the audience. It pretty much went up 300%. Then it was dumped like right away, just like in the Hak Tui scheme. And he claimed to be one of the victims. I'm like, so you sold your audience out. You got $250,000, but you're the victim in all this. And I said, we just got to put people on game about that, man.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much, man. I really want to talk about the other one, but yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
I appreciate you coming up.
No problem, man.
Shout out to Jada Informant. Hey, West Coast Barbara, aka ARP. I had to mess with you. Barbara, every time you come in, I got to message you about that one. But shout out to you. And also shout out to C. Terry, just popped in the chat as well. Yeah, but you got to be real careful when anything that's involving your money. You have to be very, very careful. And like I said, you have to do your research before you jump into anything. See, the thing is, a lot of people are going to show you the glamorous side of things, but you don't know what they had to do to get work up to that point. I'm sure it was a lot of trial and error. And now they've gotten the hang of it where they're getting more wins rather than L's. Starting out, you're going to catch a lot of L's too. The thing is, you don't want to catch too many L's to the point where you're left broke, busted, and disgusted. Dark Titan says, have you heard of Michelle the bartender? She was on an episode of Do We Know Them, a YouTube channel about ignoring racism and raising about Kendra's hat. Michelle the bartender. I don't know why, for some reason, the name sounds familiar, but it escapes me. But I wouldn't be surprised by that. A lot of people have things to say about Kendrick. And let me talk about that. Y'all, it's been almost 3 weeks since the Super Bowl, and they are still talking about Kendrick's halftime performance. And by talking about, I'm talking about, I have seen so many people from around the globe, not just around the establishment, but around the world, reenacting when he started to perform, not like us, like him doing that little two-step that he was doing. Now it's everywhere. And I've seen so many people from various places across the four corners of the planet and everywhere in between, literally reenacting that. So remember the line he said right before he got to the song, he said, you can't fake influence. He literally has the whole world doing that little two-step thing. And that is probably going to be expected of him to do it during the tour, because him and SZA about to go on tour. So shout out to Kendrick and he about to go on his 2-year run, and you got some people on here faking the funk about Aubrey's album. Haven't listened to it, but from what I heard, that's not the comeback that, quote unquote, that you needed or wanted. But here we are. I'm only going to be on here for maybe about 7 more minutes because it's 12:53. Brother man said Aubrey's latest song got dissed, so he not doing good. Yeah, and apparently, he's supposed to be dropping an album in June, like an actual solo project. So, but see, here's the thing: Kendrick and SZA go on tour in April. Their last stop is actually here. Is actually in DC during the weekend of Juneteenth, might I add. And his first two stops are in Toronto. I say first two because he's doing two shows there. What are the odds? I mean, the irony of that. But now a lot of people were saying that the people that was on here saying that Aubrey's album, this one he has right now, they're talking about it's so good. And then now people are finding out that a lot of them are faking the funk with their reviews of the album or saying they were being paid. What's going on, Moda? He said July 2nd, I'll be there. Cologne, Germany. What's going on in on July 2nd? Yeah, I did see the video Shamar Moore did of the Kendrick because he was on the set of his show SWAT, and him and some of his co-stars were in their costumes for the show, and they had did it while they was in the holding area. Oh, you said his first stop? Oh, his first tour stop in Europe. Okay, yeah. So this April through June, I guess this is the American leg, and I guess that they must have added more shows then, because I didn't know about that. The international ones, I only knew about the American ones. So the American leg ends in DC on the weekend of Juneteenth. I think the day before, so I think it's the 18th. So I know you're going to turn up at that show. I already know that. Oh, Mo, that should be a vlog. That's a perfect vlog right there. Just putting it out there as a suggestion, but knowing you probably already had that in mind. Yeah, West Coast Barbie said, I'm glad K-Dot brought back. You know what? Really, the two-step never really went anywhere. The two-step is one of the most simple dances that we know how to do. Even if you don't know how to dance, you should be able to do a decent two-step. If you can't even do a decent two-step, then maybe rhythm is just not in your DNA. Jennifer said, somebody said they need to announce a country singer for next year's Super Bowl and Beyonce will pop out. Man, listen. Between Beyonce, her halftime performance during Christmas, and her winning country album and album of the year, and that duo that she did with Miley Cyrus on that same album, they sick of her right now. I mean, think about this for a second. You had Kendrick Lamar win 5 Grammys, a clean sweep for Not Like Us, and 2 big awards too, record and song of the year for a diss track. Beyonce won her Grammys for that country album same night. The following week, he basically does a medley of his songs where most of them came off of that GNX album, and they're still talking about it. And shout out to C. Terry for the 20. Says, we are a whole vibe family B1. What have I always told y'all? We are the trendsetters of the world. Nothing moves until we give it the go-ahead. And when we don't, it does not move. It doesn't even flinch. That's why a lot of them was so mad with that performance, because they didn't get it. They wanted to be entertained. I don't have to rehash it. I already did a whole live about that. They wanted to be entertained so bad. And you want to know what's so crazy? A lot of the people that was up there talking about they want to be entertained were a lot of the ones that was at the White House for that so-called Black History Month program, not getting a damn thing from now installed 47, except some statues in the garden. That's why I told y'all left wing, right wing, they 2 wings attached to the same buzzer. They doing the symbolism thing again. didn't get nothing, but they did get Kash Patel installed as the FBI director. Imagine that. You there for a Black History Month event, and one of the announcements is I installed Kash Patel, a whole Indian man, as the new FBI director. I might actually do a live about that. I just got to figure out a day to do it because, like I said, next week is kind of packed because I already got lives lined up for days that I'm available, because 2 of those days I'm not. So if I do one, it might be a midday next Saturday. If I decide to do it, it's not set in stone. Jaden Foreman says about the documentary, how can Hulu make documentary about open cases, pretty much accusing said person like Diddy and etc. Those, yeah. Usually, listen, it's all a money grab. Just like that Surviving R. Kelly one, money grab. This Leaving Neverland Part 2, money grab. I always tell people we live in a capitalist society, and with capitalism comes greed. And I always tell you, greed, in my opinion, is the deadliest of the 7 deadly sins because it can link to the other 6 so seamlessly. Talking to Grandma says, no disrespect to those who have passed on, but I don't want statues. We celebrate our icons at any time. I want my 40 acres and John Deere. Hey, I agree with you. I completely and wholeheartedly agree with you. Even some people were questioning, why would you, because it says a garden of American heroes or something like that. People was questioning why he put Kobe in there. But anyway, y'all, it is officially 1 o'clock. We are about to go ahead and shut this down. This was a very productive Sound Off Saturday. Shout out to everybody that came up and spoke. Shout out to Janesta Sabadon and C. Terry for hitting the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. I have a 10 a.m. premiere video coming for you all tomorrow, and it is a doozy. Y'all probably going to get a kick out of it tomorrow. It's not a triple P, but y'all are probably going to be sitting there just laughing, and it's going to be how Harvey would always say, I told you so. Y'all probably going to say that quite a bit in tomorrow's commentary, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Make sure y'all stay safe, stay warm, and above all else, be one.